So, first things first, you may have noticed the background is different. We officially got moved. Second, I have not recorded in a very long time. Um, it is August 11th. There's a couple of reasons for that. Reason number one being the move. It was very stressful and a lot of things went on with it. Reason number two, my headset broke. And by broke, I mean my girlfriend sat on it and the microphone broke off so bad that it was dangling by one little shriveled wire. And that is what I was using until literally the day before yesterday. So this is my brand new headset, and she felt so bad about it. She bought me like a Corsair. I've never had this nice of a headset, so I'm very excited. It has surround sound. I've never had a headset that had surround sound before, and it has like all these different like modes where like you can listen to music perfectly, or you can listen to video gaming perfectly, or you can all this stuff. That's like um, it's just very nice. This headset is very nice. So thank you to her for getting me such a nice headset. But she felt bad because she was the cause of both of my previous headsets breaking. Um, so she wanted to get me something really good, and it even has like a little charging stand and stuff. So yay! um, I basically am gonna do this in two parts. Part one is gonna be catching up, and part two is gonna be where I'm at now. Because it's been a minute. Last time, it was the 6 month anniversary of me being on T. Girlfriend was about to graduate. She was graduating with a job, so she was very excited about that and with honors. So, very proud of her, all that. Um, we went straight from the graduation to, trying to get the moving stuff more situated and everything and get everything taken care of. Um, the Social Security Administration basically told me it's going to take way too long with the COVID protocols in place that are in place for us to do your name change before the move. So don't do it. Wait until you have moved. So I have not actually gotten my name officially changed. Um, some of my documents and paperwork say the correct name, and some of them say the old name. And it's weird being in this in between place, but at the same time, that was the instructions I was given. So, sucks, but I hate it. But at the same time, I am just now starting to get situated enough with life that I can do something like record. So, yeah, dealing with it as best as I can. Um, I think I can do it now. Hopefully, the one hiccup is they might want my driver's license for a month, and I can't do that. My spouse is special needs and has a bunch of health issues, and that doesn't work. So we will see what is happening with that. Um, my spouse was in and out of the hospital while I was trying to move both my spouse's stuff from her parents' house and my girlfriend's stuff from her apartment, all consolidating into our apartment. And then basically, I was moving 3 buildings worth of crap. Um, and trying to consolidate it all into what would fit in my car and maybe send a couple of boxes. The girls got to fly first class to Washington State to come live in Seattle, in our new apartment, and I had to drive across the country in my 20-year-old car with no air conditioning, and the windows in the front don't roll down. Uh, it broke down like 7 times, 8 times. My brother did come help me drive across the country because he was so excited for me to move to Washington, but it was pretty miserable. We actually stopped and got an air freshener because the smell was so bad from both of us being sweaty. I mean, it just smelled terrible in that car. And, you couldn't lean the seat back or anything because the car was packed to capacity. So, yeah. And it was super hot, like 100 degrees out, and the car kept overheating. And she doesn't like long distance, my car. And now, since we got back, she won't stop attempting to overheat again. So something's definitely wrong with the engine. Um, And everybody's telling me I just need to get a new car. My car is worth less than $500 at this point. She's probably worth less than $200 at this point. She has been a faithful little car. I'm very grateful for her, but at the same time, um, she's kicking the bucket, unfortunately. We're trying to make her last for a couple more months and not invest a bunch of money into her. One of her tires went, so we have one tire that is 7.7 inch, and then the other tires are 8.5 inch, so that's not exactly the best either. Um, but we're making do with her struggles, my poor little car's struggles, um, and we'll hopefully be looking at cars, which really sucks because we spent so much money to move in the first place. I'm kind of strapped at the moment, trying to recover and recuperate financially, and I gotta get a car. Anyway, the move was so stressful. While I'm packing all this stuff from three different places, my spouse was in and out of the ER. She was having heart issues, so scary ER, heart attack symptoms and stuff. And I had to make some emergency adjustments to her meds, which wasn't great. And it's been a giant shit show, honestly, trying to get all of this stuff done. I've given Social Security Administration everything required for her because she's fully disabled, and they still won't change her residential address for some reason. So even though she has been living in Washington State for like 2 months, well, not 2 months, I guess, like a month and a week, not 2 months. That was an exaggeration. But anyway, they still have her as if she lives in New York, even though submitted the documentation, even though we've called more than once. I don't know what to do about that because her insurance won't switch over, and she needs her medication. She needs to be able to see a doctor and get refills and stuff. So that's super stressful. Um, the the whole referral for top surgery that did turn out successful. Hopefully, I'll be able to just transfer that here. I got my letter so that I can get top surgery. So hopefully that'll be accepted here and good to go because I do not have a therapist yet here in Washington State. And I did have a therapist in New York who was good, and I'm hoping I can get another good one here. I am set up with my old previous doctor who, come to turn out, was specialized in gender uh, medicine as well. So that was exciting, but she is back where we used to live in Washington State, so it's like an hour drive, but it's worth it to see a doctor I can trust and not have to deal with iatrophobia issues um, and stuff like that, and someone who knew me for years. So that's an important thing for me. It's worth the drive. Plus, the doctor's office is like right next to where my brother lives, so um, I can stop by and visit and stuff when I go to the doctor's and see my nephews. So the move took forever. The move, it was from the moment that my girlfriend graduated and we were just packing and working and everything else. Again, three different places, and then my spouse was in and out of the ER, and that was extremely stressful. And I had to like stop the move for a little bit because her heart was so stressed out from change and she doesn't do well with change. And so then her mom came and got her and brought her to Ohio. So then we got everything done as fast as possible because she kept ending up in the ER in Ohio as well. And um, at least her siblings are nurses, so they were taking her and they could go back with her. When I went to the ER in New York, they wouldn't let me go back with her at all, and honestly, it was the worst hospital. Um, it was just absolutely atrocious. The hospital in New York that we went to in Rochester, terrible. Anyway, she was in Ohio, and my girlfriend and I, we were trying to do it just ourselves, while she was trying to be not stressed at her parents' house, but she kept being in the ER anyway. So we rushed everything. I cleaned everything and got all of our stuff shoved in that car and got us over there. And it was hard. It was very stressful. I got like basically no sleep because I was so worried about her. And then I was working all day packing stuff and carrying stuff and doing all this stuff, donating stuff, and trying to cover every base, trying to make sure everything was situated, that my spouse would have 3 months of refills on everything, like all this different stuff, and get everything done, all the paperwork done, and clean everything good enough that we get our security deposit back, which we did. And it was just like hellish. And then we got to Ohio, and everybody got sick, and my I had to make some emergency calls on medication and stuff for my spouse, and it was awful. And then the girls got on their first class plane, and I had to drive across the country, and that was awful. After spending, like a week and a couple of days or whatever it was at her parents' house, getting the car situated as best as we could. I got a full checkout on the car, got a clean bill of health for the car, and everything. So I thought I was good to go to drive across the country, and no, she broke down so much. And my brother was super patient about it. He was very, very patient about it. I felt really guilty and bad, but um, he was nice about it, as he could be, as anyone could be, being sweaty and miserable in a broken down car. Um, and we did not stop at any hotels, so yeah, it wasn't the funnest drive, but we got across the country. We made it, and was just so grateful to make it. Honestly, after all the breakdowns, I wasn't sure if we were gonna be able to get there in any kind of a decent time. I had already set up a scheduling for going to the DMV because you have to go by appointment only because of COVID and all that stuff. So I was trying so hard and everything to stay optimistic and positive, but that was a rough trip. But we made it to Washington and had nothing in the way of furniture at all. And so, our girlfriend, she was going to be starting work, and my brother, he helped out a lot with helping us get furniture here and stuff, and that was really nice of him too. We went to IKEA, spent a lot at IKEA, but I put together a bunch of furniture. I had to build it for, like several days of nonstop building furniture, and then we got food stocked into here and stuff like that. And got my girlfriend starting her job. She really likes her job. She's happy with her job, so that's good. Um, Weirdly, transferring my healthcare wasn't really too bad of an issue. Um, it's my spouse's healthcare because, again, the Social Security Administration won't change her residence. That's been a giant hassle. Huge problem. And she's the one who needs a ton of healthcare stuff. Like, technically, I could have gone to Planned Parenthood for my testosterone, and instead, I have a doctor who's prescribing me testosterone, and she doesn't have that. And I guess I'll talk more about that in the Where I'm At Now one. Um, for to changes on testosterone, because I didn't stop taking it during all of this, although I definitely didn't take it on as perfect of a schedule. There were definitely times that I like missed it a couple of days before I'd be like, oh, I have to take this, or oh, whoops, I there was some lapses. But it was only by like 3 days at the most. Um, but it was a very stressful time, so I'm trying not to judge myself too much for that. Anyway, the acne is just terrible. We changed. I was using a body wash. Um, Basically, it started giving me like a rash and breaking out my skin and stuff. It was apparently too strong of a version, or else just too different of a version of what my mom used to put on us when we were teenagers and we were covered in acne. So my girlfriend got a different um, body wash that basically is a lot of the same formula as what I had always been using on my face. Um, like for decades I've used on my face. So she got basically a similar thing to that to use as a body wash for the acne. I still use my Old Spice body wash for um, smells and stuff like that. But I try to keep it off my back and my shoulders and use the other one instead, and my chest and stuff. Where all this acne just breaks out like crazy. And this body wash at first made it worse because it's supposed to bring everything to the skin. But my girlfriend says it's a lot better than it was. I don't think it's a lot better than it was from what I can see, but I also can't see my back as well as she can, so whatevs. Um, it's it is what it is. The acne thing, it's genetic. Anyway, um, I will say I don't know that my voice has gotten any deeper. If it has, I don't know. It's not the 18th yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do one of these, and then maybe I'll do another one on the 18th now that I have a headset again. But hi, I'm Lil, and this is my voice on T, uh, on August on T. Let's see. Um, 18th of June was 6 months, so July, August. So this is 8 months on T. So hi, I'm Lil, and this is my voice. 8 months on T. Okay. Anyway, um, I might do that in the where I am now video better. Anywho, the point is, um, while all of this was going on, one of the bigger changes is finally these hairs are starting to darken in. So I don't know if you can see it. You probably can. I'm much, much more noticeably dark. Like, all of this blondness is turning red. Like, this red right here. So, my facial hair is starting to match in color instead of be just pure blondness, which is a relief for real. Like, a big relief. Um, huge relief. Because it's also growing in a little less patchy on the sides, and it's always grown in pretty patchy on the sides, so that was also a huge relief. Um, like, I feel like it looks a lot more uniform, which is very helpful. um, when we moved in here, we did not get furniture for everywhere, but we do have the office right here set up. Our girlfriend has a much nicer office desk and chair than we do, but also she has to work from home a lot, and that's completely appropriate. She feels like bad about it, but I don't feel bad about it at all. Um, we don't work from our computers; she does. So our bedroom's set up, and that's a relief. But there's a lot of this room that still needs to be set up as far as the craft part of things, because the girls really like doing like knitting and crocheting and cross stitching and that kind of stuff, and that's not organized at all. And then the kitchen's pretty much set up, but we don't have any bar stools, and we weren't planning on getting a dining table, so without the bar stools we don't really have somewhere to sit and eat together. So we've pretty much been sitting either on the floor or else eating at our desks, and that's not as family meal feeling or whatever, so we're planning on rectifying that. What really has not even one single piece of furniture is the living room. Um, we just can't seem to get lucky with a couch. And we've picked out what we think we want for the other furniture for the living room, but without a couch, it's just like you don't want to get something and then it doesn't go with the couch that you ended up getting or whatever. So, um, hopefully we can get around to that. Um, but the other thing is, again, juggling the finances because moving is expensive, guys. Moving is expensive. So it's been um it's been a trip trying to move and trying to do all this crap and trying to keep up with everything for three people and all of that crap. There's still a lot to do. I do need to finish my name change. I need to figure out what in the world is going on with I mean, it honestly just feels like the Social Security Administration is just sort of like not. They've never been like, oh, let's make this easy on you, but it seems like they're a lot worse for since the pandemic stuff or something. I don't know. Um, is what it is with that. Unfortunately, during the move, I missed um, a decent chunk of trans support stuff. I did start going again more properly, but I keep being late because the time difference. But whatever. But I will say another big, I don't know, monumental thing or moment or whatever thing. Um, During the move, I finally, I had been avoiding being in public a lot, and then that made things easier. But also, when I was in public, it was not for super long periods of time. So I didn't use the public restroom at all in public at all until the actual driving across the country. And then you don't have an option. You have to use the public restrooms. And the first like day I used the women's because I was scared, but I felt really, really self conscious going into the women's, and I felt like I had to sneak in, and I felt like, what if a woman saw me and I was wearing a mask, but at the same time, what if the beard was hanging down or whatever, and I would try to hide the beard a little bit and stuff when I'd go to the bathroom, and I just did not feel comfortable at all. And so I mean, what really did it is I went to the bathroom in the women's restroom at this one place, and there was this woman literally washing like laundry in the sink and singing and stuff. And here I am trying to sneak around her, and she's like got half the bathroom taken up by what she's doing, and it was just like ah, you know. And avoiding speaking in the bathroom because my voice was so low. I was just like, I can't keep doing this. This is too stressful. This is like for just terrible. Like it was so uncomfortable. I was like, man can have boobs. If a guy asks, I'll just say I have moobs, and he'll hear my deep voice, and hopefully notice the beard and call it good. Um, around the mask, and that was what I figured. So I went in to the men's restroom, and it wasn't a problem at all. And I've been going in the men's restroom ever since. Haven't had any issues at all. Um, Honestly, guys don't really like look and check you out. Like there's this unwritten code that you don't make eye contact in the bathroom when you're dudes. You don't look at each other's dicks and you don't make eye contact. And I feel like guys take that one step further and they just don't really look at each other like at all. And you know what? I am completely fine with that. And when the dudes are at urinals or shit, you just walk past them and you don't even look at anything, and they're not looking at you, and it's fine. And I will say men's restrooms are grosser than girls' restrooms. Um, Never put anything on the floor in a guy's restroom. You can walk and you can feel that little bit of sticky feeling on the bottom of your shoe from all the piss on the floor. Like, it sucks. That part of things sucks. But the smell sucks. It's not very nice at all. But at the same time, it's been way less stressful. Like, significantly less stressful to just use the men's restroom. Um, which has been a giant relief for me. I was worried that men would be like, I don't know, harassy or something, you know, make fun of or try to grab, or I don't even know. But I haven't had that issue at all. Like, not even a little bit. Um, so that's a thing that happened during the move and all that. Um, Another thing that happened is ever since I've gotten to Washington, not a single person has misgendered me, not even once, except one lady did for 1 second, and then she corrected herself. So that's nice. Like, I have not had any problems in this state of Washington at all. Um, During the drive here, going across the Midwest, I made sure to lead with my voice to avoid misgenderings, and that helped. But I still got some, like, like confused glances or whatever, where people are trying to figure it out. Because I wear masculine clothes. I've worn masculine clothes for a long time, but even before fully transitioning or whatever, um, coming out, however you want to say that. But I I don't know. I've always been misgendered, quote unquote, when I was presenting as a non-binary lesbian. I got misgendered quite often as a man. Um, the way I move and walk and dress denotes that. So even before I stopped shaving and let the beard actually grow, um, which was before I started taking testosterone because of, my natural stuff. Even before all of that, I got misgendered some, and, you know, it was nice, but it wasn't all the time. Now, uh, it I want top surgery like a lot, but it doesn't seem to be impeding um, people gendering me correctly. That there is a chest, um, and I don't have a binder, so it feels uncomfortable to me still some, and things like that. But it's not throwing off other human beings. I think they see the beard, they hear the voice, they see the way I dress, they see the way I move, my mannerisms, that kind of crap, and they're like, "Screw it, this is a dude." Um, you know, I don't really, especially again here in Washington, I haven't had a single person like even like question it or whatever. Um, Even when I've had to explain about my name, which was the reason the woman misspoke for a second. That's honestly the biggest inhibitor right now, is that on some papers my name is correct and on some stuff it's not. Another thing that was really cool when I moved here, they let me put male on my driver's license right away. They do not let me put my name on it until it's fully done changing, but they let me put my correct gender on there. So it says male on my driver's license, even though it says my birth name. Um, but cool by me. I'm pretty happy about that. Um, at least I don't have to like do anything special to get my gender marker changed in this state. Um, that's significant. Like, that's a pretty significant thing. Um, the other thing that happened during the moving, um, was I did not have enough time to play video games the way that I usually do. And we also did some outdoorsy fun things, which I like doing. I took the girlfriend up onto Mount Rainier and we climbed on Paradise. She'd never been on a mountain before. Like in New York, we drive past these little mountains covered in trees, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, those are just hills." And she's like, "That's not nice." And she said she didn't understand why I would say that until we got here, and now she could see Mount Rainier in the distance and the Cascades and the Olympics and everything. And she's like, you know, those were just hills. These are real mountains, um, with snow caps and actual height that you can see them on the skyline. And we went up there to Paradise, and the flowers were in bloom. And we went up to the bottom of the snow line and walked in some of the snow right up there by where the glacier is, where it drops down into the moraine and everything. She loved it. I mean, she hiked and kind of pushed herself further than she should have because she loved it so much, to where her legs were shaking, trying trying to come down the mountain because she wasn't used to hiking that much, but loved it, loved it, loved it. And we've been hanging out with family and stuff like that, and having fun. Went to the Seattle Aquarium just this last weekend with my nephews and stuff, and all that. But it's been time consuming between the moving, the trying to take care of all of the transitioning of myself and our life and our paperwork and our services and our doctor stuff, health care, trying to do all this furniture and all of the unpacking. We're still not unpacked. Like getting food and getting functional, getting utensils that we need to for stuff that we didn't have. Thankfully, my parents gave us a bunch of stuff because they were moving to Alaska. Um, and they moved right before we went, so that was something. Um, but yeah, I I just did not have time to play video games the way that I was, and there was several things that I gained from that. The first thing is I did not miss playing World of Warcraft at all. I just did not. So I was trying really hard to figure out a way to say I want to quit, and Activision Blizzard handed it to me by treating their workers crappily and treating women in outright illegal ways. Um, and I flat out was able to say to the guild, I like you guys, I like the people, but I don't like this game anymore. It's not fun for me, and it's honestly like if this isn't the line that they cross and it's too far, what in the world would be? Like what is too terrible if this isn't the thing that's too terrible? Um, so there's a giant lawsuit against Activision Blizzard from state of California, and like it's a massive, massive issue. There's a lot going on, like a lot, with that company and how much they're hemorrhaging right now because I'm not the only person who quit. Anyway, um, just did not give a crap about World of Warcraft at all. And I felt really guilty because of the guild. I felt super guilty because of the people, but at a certain point, it just, it, I'll say hi to you in Discord. It's not worth it. So I've pretty much quit WoW completely. Technically, my time isn't up, but I don't have any reason to log in, so I don't intend to. Um, Everybody else under the sun seems to be, leaving as well, so I don't feel like, you know, that this is atypical or whatever. Um, I didn't play BDO nearly as much as I wanted to with the season character stuff and everything. I'm super, super behind. So that I'm trying to work around, but at the same time, I really just don't have enough time to work on it and pursue it and stuff the way that I was. Um, is what it is. I like the Corsair. It's fun. It's just I don't know if I'm gonna beat the season pass or not. Even if I beat the season pass, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the Tuvala gear up to pen. Like, is what it is with that. I can't help the timing. um, I've been playing a tiny bit of ESO. I have not really been playing it. I checked out the Blackwood map, explored it some, got the sky shards. I killed some dragons for the Elsewhere event. That's about it. I really, really haven't done much in ESO. I actually have started playing more Guild Wars 2 again. And the problem with Guild Wars 2 is I always come back to it. And the problem with Guild Wars 2 is they never fix the things that I complain about with it. Except this time, they might fix some of them. They announced the expansion. The expansion looks fine. It doesn't look like the most exciting, amazing expansion I ever saw, but it definitely doesn't look bad or terrible or anything, so we'll probably get it and play it. Um, they are going to update to DirectX 11, and it's not 12, It's 11, and I don't know if that means they're updating textures or not. But if the game at least runs better, even if it doesn't necessarily look better, although obviously I would prefer for it to not look so outdated, like some of the textures, especially in the base game, but just across the game, period. Some of the textures and stuff, you can see how dated the engine is. So hopefully that will improve, but at least the server lag and the horrible optimization hopefully will be addressed by going up to DirectX 11. I'm definitely gonna give it a chance. They added the legendary armory. That's nice. That's been cool. I've been messing around some with some trying to, say finish off a legendary, finish off my Skyscale collection that I never finished. Stuff like that. So I've been playing some Guild Wars 2, been playing some BDO, and logging in to ESO. But I'm done with World of Warcraft. So, um, I mean, I never actually wanted to get back into WoW. That's the thing. I felt nostalgic. I wanted to play it for a couple of months. I didn't expect anyone else to play it with me, and I did not expect to have a friend there who was like, "Here, I'll give you the expansion, and I'll give you 3 months of game time if you keep playing," And then it just turned into this big thing because my spouse was super passionate about it, and even when I tried to quit before, um, basically around the beginning of BFA when I got past the excitement about dinosaurs because I like dinosaurs. My girlfriend and I had started playing ESO. We had pretty much quit WoW, and the wife wanted me to come play with her, and she was lonely and wanted me to come raid, and then we ended up starting the guild, and uh, it was never my intention to get super back into WoW in the first place, and um, it feels nice not to have to log into it. Honestly, it's like a relief to not have to go do those chores and deal with that disappointment. And and the thing is I have some really positive, good, high quality memories in WoW, and I'd like to just leave it that way. And Activision Blizzard doesn't really want to let me leave it that way, and I don't want to play it if it's not going to be that way. I don't want to watch something that I used to get so much happiness from slowly wither and die. I um I feel like it's a little bit like when my grandmother was dying very slowly from all the smoking she did of cigarettes. She had lung cancer and emphysema and just a slow, miserable 12-year long death. And watching her die and watching her suffer and watching her go through that and taking care of, her while she was suffering and stuff. That's what it kind of reminds me of, to a lesser degree obviously than losing my grandmother, but it's that same kind of sentiment almost of watching something that you cared about just dying, and it's struggling to breathe, and it's suffering. It's just not what it was, and it's withering away. And I don't want to watch that. So, yeah. Anyway, those are just things trying to catch up, I guess, on stuff. I will make another one of these about where I am now and what I'm looking to in the future and things like that and stuff. I touched on some of it, but Um, but yeah, sorry it was so long. Even when there were moments of downtime, I didn't have a functional headset, so and there were not very many moments of downtime. So hopefully this catches things up a bit and is something toward progress. I do intend to hopefully go back to a semi more regular recording schedule. Especially with my fancy headset that I love that my girlfriend got me. Ooh. Like this thing. Yay.